Nubia Red Magic 6 Review. But before we start, please support us by pressing the like and subscribe buttons, so that we can continue to provide the latest information about gadgets and technology. Also turn on the bell button to get the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. The mobile gaming segment is rapidly expanding, and Nubia is at the forefront. The company has a history of doing things differently and has employed the same strategy for its gaming phones. Pretty much all of the previous Red Magic releases had something new and exciting to bring to the table, and the latest Red Magic 6 is no exception. This time around, however, there's not just a fancy built-in fan. Both the Red Magic 6 and the Red Magic 6 Pro are the first phones to launch with a 165Hz display and 500Hz single-finger touch sampling rate. We are yet to see how that affects battery life and if gaming above 144Hz is possible, given how limited the support for Android games is above 60 FPS, to begin with. Additionally, the panel has grown in size from 6.65 inches to 6.8 inches. In the gaming world, more is always better. ZTE Nubia Red Magic 6 specs at a glance. Body, 169.9 by 77.2 by 9. 7mm, 220 grams, Gorilla Glass front, glass back, aluminum frame, pressure-sensitive zones, 400Hz touch sensing, built-in cooling fan. Display, 6.80 inches AMOLED, 1B colors, 165Hz, 630 nits, TUP, 1080 by 2400 px resolution, 20:9 aspect ratio, 387p. Chipset, Qualcomm SM8350 Snapdragon 888 5G, 5 nanometers, octa-core, 1x2. 84 GHz Creo 680 and 3x2. 42 GHz Creo 680 and 4x1. 80 GHz Creo 680, Adreno 660. Memory, 128 GB 8 GB RAM, 128 GB 12 GB RAM, 256 GB 12 GB RAM, UFS 3.1. OS/software, Android 11, Red Magic 4.0. Rear camera, wide, main, 64MP, f/1.8, 26mm, 11.72, 0.8 micrometers, PAF, ultra wide angle, 8MP, f/2.0, 120, 13mm, 1/4.0, 1.12 micrometers, macro, 2MP. Front camera, 8MP, f/2.0, wide, 1/4.0, 1.12 micrometers. Video capture, rear camera, 8K at 30 fps, 4K at 30/60 fps, 1080p at 30/60/120/240 fps, front camera, 1080p at 30 fps. Battery, 5050 mAh, fast charging 66 watts, power delivery 3.0, quick charge 4. Miscellaneous, fingerprint reader, under display, optical, NFC, global version, 3.5mm jack. Other gaming related features include a blazing fast 400Hz, pressure sensitive shoulder triggers that make certain games a delight to play. This current implementation improves upon the previous two generations that had 300Hz triggers. And in case that's not enough, Nubia will gladly sell you a couple of additional accessories like a gaming adapter for port expansion, DisplayPort 1.4 included. The iStock from last year makes a return as a dual-core iStock that provides some extra cooling capabilities while gaming, and in our previous review of the Red Magic 5S, we found it to be pretty useful. The rest of the hardware, although quite powerful, matches the industry standard with a Snapdragon 888 chipset, 8GB/128 GB memory configuration as base and up to 5050 mAh battery capacity depending on which version of the phone you choose. The Pro model comes with a smaller 4500 mAh unit as it trades the 550 mAh capacity for the speedy 120 watts charging, which is exclusive to China. Outside of China, both devices ship with 66 watts fast charging support. The differences between the vanilla Red Magic 6 and the Pro model don't end there. There's also an extra heat dissipation plate on the Pro model that Nubia says can decrease the surface temperature up to 3.5 degrees. This leaves us with no solid reason to go for the Pro model, but we can't say for sure, given that we've only seen the vanilla Red Magic 6. Unboxing the Nubia Red Magic 6. The phone's box contains the usual user manuals and a USB-C to USB-C cable. The bundled stock charger with this non-pro version is rated at 30 watts, while the Chinese version gets the 66 watts charger. The latter can be purchased separately if you are getting the global version. This year, it appears that the Red Magic 6 skips the bonus protective case, which we had before. The overall design and feel haven't changed much since the Red Magic 5G. We get the same glass sandwich build but with a couple of notable differences. The Red Magic 5S and 5G came with Gorilla Glass protection on the front and back, whereas the current Red Magic 6 series settle for an unnamed version of Gorilla Glass on the front and a standard glass sheet on the back. Another thing we noticed right off the bat is the unwieldy nature of the handset. It's not only big with a 6.8-inch screen, it's also super slippery. The back has an oval shape and the glass surface doesn't help with the grip either. Using the phone with one hand is a struggle. And yet, the dimensions of the Red Magic 6 don't deviate too much from the Red Magic 5S, even with a bigger screen. In fact, the Red Magic 6 is narrower and slimmer, in both cases less than a millimeter but still, while carrying a bigger display. Speaking of, the front won't surprise you with the smallest bezels around, and there's a good reason for that. Just like the previous designs of the series, this one leaves enough headroom for a comfortable grip and horizontal orientation. The slightly thicker top and bottom bezels help reduce accidental touches during gameplay. And the top bezel is big enough to house the earpiece, doubling as a second loudspeaker. The usual sensors for ambient light, proximity and the front-facing camera are nearby. The fact that the display doesn't have any cutouts and has flat edges will surely get some positive attention. Not much has changed in terms of aesthetics too. The patterns on the back are once again designed with gamers in mind. We got the Eclipse black color that seems to be a good fingerprint magnet. Since we got the Chinese version of the phone, there's Tencent Games written right next to one of the LED strips. The global version doesn't have the Tencent logo. Still, powered by Nubia can be found on both variants next to the other LED strip. As before, the Red Magic logo at the bottom can light up, but it can only do it in red. Only the two, rather discreet LED strips, offer the full RGB spectrum. The camera island is rather minimal, and it protrudes ever so slightly. It hasn't changed its position, but it's now rectangular shaped rather than a triangle-like element. The LED flash is embedded behind the glass panel right below the camera bump. Since this is a gaming phone, there are quite a few elements of interest along the frame of anodized aluminum. At the bottom, we see the SIM card tray, which has only 2 SIM card slots and no room for a microSD. The bottom-facing speaker grille, main microphone and the USB-C connector are adjacent. The interesting bit is that the top and bottom parts of the frame are concaved. The top only has the 3.5mm audio jack and the noise-canceling microphone. The iconic red, patterned hardware switch to launch the game Space software remains on the left with the intake vent for the cooling fan next to it. The volume rocker is also on the left, leaving the right side equipped with the power button, another noise-canceling microphone, the exhaust vent and the 2 shoulder triggers.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.